Alright, hello guys. Welcome back to Great Ace Attorney. We're gonna do, more of Case 1, because, apparently, there's still more. I didn't expect there to be a third part, but there is, and that's kind of wild to me. Here, I'm just trying to get comfortable. Like, I'd probably move my keyboard, like, over here, maybe. Yeah, do that. Get comfy, you know, grab some popcorn. You know, we're gonna be here for a bit. The ending of Case 1 might be a bit longer than I thought. I think that should be good, right? Yeah. Alright. Let me get comfy. There we go. Let me tab back into the game. Yo, hello chat. Alright. There we go. Damn it, I did not mean to tab out of Twitch. You're aware of the final trailer? No, don't care really. I'm just here to play some Ace Attorney. That was a bit awkward. How can I get, like, perfectly comfortable? Like, I'll watch the Mario movie when it comes out. I don't need to see stupid trailers. Yeah, you know what? This works. Alright. The controller has got a really long cable. So let me, straighten it out a bit. There we go. Yeah, kind of funny that it's Mario Day tomorrow. Oh, hang on. I didn't read that. I like how it said, to be continued. You can actually read, like, what happened before that. Shit, my mouse is on screen. Go away, mouse. Nobody wants to see you. There we go. Wow, I understand you're the judicial assistant to the defense. Well, why this sudden ingress into my courtroom? Man, my controller keeps turning off whenever it feels like.
Ha! A judicial assistant? And a woman, no less. The rules state that females are not permitted in the court of law other than to testify.
Damn, Ouchie is a misogynist, confirmed.
Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense. Ah, you're too late, little girl. The trial has already been concluded.
5 minutes. I'll not allow a moment more.
But your excellency... I'm most grateful.
I don't know voice to give her yet, but probably something calm. Who exactly are you?
I'm sorry. There's no time. Please simply accept this for now.
What is it? A report about something? Written in English?
It's Giselle Brett's research.
The English woman's?
After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper.
Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she? Japan is ahead. Well, isn't it always? So, does his research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case?
I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself.
Oh no, of course not. Doesn't the Mario movie drop worldwide on the same day? Or is, like, someone gonna get it first? I actually don't know. Special characteristics of a cure and its effects on human subjects. Interesting. Cure? Cure? How do you say that word? That's a new one. I mean, I'm learning all kinds of new words today, man. What the hell? Pronunciation. I wonder if this is gonna come through. Oh shit, I forgot my Twitch stream was on. Hold on. Let me close that temporarily.
Curare.
Wait, say that again?
Curare.
Curare? What? Curare. Apparently that's how you say it. What the fuck, man? Curare? What's that? I've never heard that word before. Same.
Time's up! The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom.
Bro, it hasn't even been 5 minutes yet. It's been more like 2 minutes.
There was too little time for me to read it in detail, but I've summarized what I could on a note just inside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it.
This is wonderful, thank you. Giselle's report. A report detailing an unknown poison that Miss Brett has been researching during her time. Oh, well, she's researching poison. That's definitely not sus or anything.
Goodbye then, and good luck.
She's so cute. You've had long enough, Counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any longer. Back to London again, I see. I ask the prosecution and defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but...
The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Ryunosuke, we're out of options here. This really is our very last chance. Yeah, I know. Ooh, that's the Mega Slam. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence. Now look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett.
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer?
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid... It's not so very long until tea time. I'll have to
Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize it was phrased as a question. However, I must ask you to treat that as an order. Yeah, get fucked.
I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady. You're gonna hear a lot of British accents, and probably not a lot of good ones. That's all I'm gonna say. So, Counsel, what is this new evidence that demands the court's attention? I mean, do I have to present it? I mean, I should probably look at it first. Should probably examine. Poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America. The hunters of the region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Special characteristics: instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses. Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna be it right there. Route of entry: the above-mentioned effects occurs when the poison enters the body through a wound, such as that with a wound. That's where the burn comes in, dude. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it's believed that the toxin could have application as an anesthetic. And wasn't she talking about anesthetics before? However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of the full body paralysis must be found first, or patients would die of suffocation. That is very important.
Yes!
Miss Giselle Brett, we understand you are studying under Dr. Wilson at Yuma University, doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence perhaps, into a deadly poison.
What?
Poison? Where are you going with this, Council? A toxin known as curare, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
Objection!
What? What complete and utter nonsense? Curare, you say? I've never even heard of it.
You wouldn't have done.
What do you mean?
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of curare before, for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country. It doesn't exist? Correct. Which means, no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they'd never identify curare.
Dude, that's exactly what I was saying. I was saying, like, it would probably be a poison not from Japan or whatever.
Dude, that makes so much sense. Here, I got my juice with me. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison.
Ah!
Order! 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 Council, does this deadly poison truly exist? According to this report, authored by the visiting research student from England, curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists.
To lace their arrows?
The report states that it's produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle. And it was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with curare suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett?
Even the waiter's shocked.
Objection!
Trumpery! These aspersions are utter trumpery. To start with, if the victim had been administered some of this so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the other diners would have surely noticed.
That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector? Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that.
I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain.
According to this, however, it's the other way around.
What do you mean the other way around?
The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used. Explain yourself, Counsel. The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move.
Yeah, like in Earthbound. You can't move. You can only use your fucking brain powers.
Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all.
Oh, terrible.
Obviously, if a man lost all his strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed.
But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death.
Well, the poison can only cause instant death if it goes through the wounds, right? The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison caused immediately paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe it caused the muscles that control respiration to fail.
Respiration?
In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. And all the while, the victim is conscious and unaware, just unable to move.
That's hideous!
I know, right? To the observer, it would look like almost the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison. And you're suggesting that this bottle, Council, actually contains this terrifying poison?
Objection!
This is all very convenient, isn't it? A thorough unknown poison, for which there is no means of testing? What a happy tale for the defense. There's a new word I need to do the research. Hold on, give me a sec. Hold on. Chrome, you gotta speed up a little bit. Pronunciation. Hitherto. Alright, give me a... Here, alright, let's listen to it.
Hitherto. Hitherto.
Hitherto?
Okay. Then I'm gonna start saying it like that. Alright. That's another new word. That's like 2 new words today. I'm gonna need like a new word counter at this point.
If I may. All these facts? You think you're so clever. It is you who must be taught. Of course. Dear lady. So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it?
What?
You steal another's honest work and then announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act.
Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual.
Whatever do you mean?
Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime? That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Objection!
Enough of this. I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules.
What's so funny?
Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett?
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Well, yes, I don't see, why not? How are you gonna test? Ah, fancy.
Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys.
Sorry?
To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games, and these foolish courtroom antics, it's laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers.
Oh, I was just joking. I didn't think she'd actually say that. Wait, what are you doing?
No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair.
Oh man, are you gonna give, like, the excuse that, like, oh, the poison runs out or something? I wonder if that's it. Awkward silence again.
Goodness. Whatever's the matter? You all look quite stunned.
So, no curare? The bottle's clean. Is that what you're saying?
Ha ha ha. You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett?
I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries.
Ah, yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you've given. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. This doesn't make sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. So how? How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it.
Well, I suppose if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London.
There has to be some poison in that bottle, doesn't there? There can't have been, because otherwise she would have killed all her dead. Come on, Ryunosuke. We have all the clues now. Bottle of water.
I'm gonna go with my theory that it does contain poison.
The culprit did put Chiari poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refused to change its position. You're serious?
Objection!
Fool! Are you blind? There's no possible way that bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw...
Miss Brett drinking the water from it?
That's right. Which rather complicates your argument, I think.
And I believe that complication can be explained.
How exactly? What if, like, the poison expires or something? You never know.
I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer's in the evidence we have in the court records somewhere. It has to be. Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert its claim, then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume the supposedly poisoned water unscathed?
Well... Why don't we look at the report again? Even in minute dose... I think it's minute. The above-mentioned effects occur when the poison enters the body through a wound, not through the mouth.
Yes!
The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report.
Objection!
That's not a valid explanation.
No?
After all, we don't speak English. That report is utter gibberish. Man, that's me whenever I see any other language besides English. It's gibberish. This impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency.
I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest. I'm just reading Susato-san's notes. I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You will direct us to the pertinent section, Counsel. Which section of the report reveals the alleged answer to this riddle? Well, let me look at the court record again. Just double checking which part. It would be in the special characteristics. We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison. And it's left me curious about something. Oh, Counsel? Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years. To lace the heads of the arrows they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. So we've been led to believe, yes. And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat.
Get to the point, please.
But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there will be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat? Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison. Good gracious, Counsel. No, that would be madness. But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper right here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Through a wound, you say? I see, that makes sense. Yes, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When Kiara enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever. What? Miss Brett, you authored this research. You knew Kirari's special characteristics. And you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking the water without any danger to yourself.
You meddling little... rapscallion!
Well, Ryunosuke, it turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer?
Objection!
All this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure. But I fail to see how... So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly.
What are you trying to say?
Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw.
Schoolboyish? Flaw?
As even your brain has managed to deduce, curare is safe to ingest. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of gastric succus?
Alright, I have another word to research. Make that 3 words. I'm gonna keep looking at the pronunciation. No, I don't want a video, bro. I want an actual... I think it's just succus. What does it mean, though? What is that? No, not wuckus. Definition. Succus is a juice or fluid secretion. Okay. So it's juice then. Alright. Oh, yeah, well, of course. Gastric suckers? What are they?
So, if this lethal poison's completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he?
Well, I have a way to back that up.
That's right!
Good gracious.
That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy would be able to hand, no?
Understand, not hand. Well, I don't know, maybe we're inventing new British slang today. Order! Order in the court! Order! The logic holds. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they ought to be affected in the same way. Yeah, no immunity system this time, huh? Are you trying to suggest?
Yes, this curare poison's completely irrelevant to the case on trial. That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that.
Ooh, black and white time. What is this? Welling up inside me. I've never felt like this before. Sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. So intense, almost rage-like. More than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey. Ooh, the point! He objected. I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett.
How dare you use that tone with me?
You know very well there's no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You're alive, but Dr. Wilson's dead. Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence. As we know now, that this poison's completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the Curare? Do we have the, It's the photograph of the handbag.
Take that!
He's not saying yes. I'm sorry, Counsel, but the slipshod manner in which you've tossed the evidence before the court does not inspire confidence. Huh? Listen, Ryunosuke, there's no need to overthink this. We know that Chiari's toxic effects only come into play when the poison enters the body via a wound. Right, so that can only mean that when Dr. Wilson drank his glass of water, he must have had a wound somewhere that let the poison in. Exactly. So we need some evidence that would prove the professor had a wound inside his mouth. Ah, of course. Wait. Oh, I see. I thought like she put the poison in his, like, the wound on his hand. Oh. I didn't think we were gonna go back to the medical report card. Oh my god. Dude, that's completely the opposite of what I was thinking. See, what I was thinking, right, is I was thinking that, you know, she burned his hand, right? And then she put the poison on the burn, and then the burn went into his body and killed him that way. Oh, I see. Okay. I guess we're going with the report card then.
Take that!
That didn't even cross my mind. As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. A fatal difference? The toxic effects of Chiari are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. Right, because he had the wound from the tooth getting removed. So for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water? Inside? Yes, like the wound you might have if you'd just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Ah! Oh! Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day.
Ah!
So that's it. Use that knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she laughing?
I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are all so puerile.
Alright, make that 4 new words today. God, man, I need to research my British, apparently. Yeah, pronunciation.
Puerile.
Puerile? What is puerile behavior? Silly or childish? Especially in a way that shows a lack of serious or good judgment. So says Google. Alright, got it. Thank you. What? What do you mean?
Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, I gotta wonder something real quick. Should we have her in the court record, right? Oh yeah, we also have, you know, I don't think I read up on the other, like, people. We have the head waiter of the European-style restaurant La Carnival. He was serving there on the day of the incident. Iesa Nosa, an army sergeant of the Empire of Japan who witnessed the incident. Kirio Kirikuda, the owner of Rasute, who was hunting for a lost Hoei-era gold Kaban coin at the time of the incident. A British exchange student who was studying under the victim at Yume University's medical school. And Suzatu Mikatoba, the judicial assistant of defense lawyer Kazuma Asogi. Okay, okay. I just wanted to read up on those. What the hell is she doing?
You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it.
No.
I mean, it could just slip.
No, the bottle.
Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed.
No. What is it? What just happened? It's the Englishwoman. She smashed the bottle. And the Supreme Court. What a terrible blunder. Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect up as much of the water from that broken bottle at once.
You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet there was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you it'll soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. Ha 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 ha.
How could you? You won't get away with this.
You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there really was poison in the bottle, or not.
You...
And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution?
Oh, of course, of course. You're referring to this photographic print, I assume, dear lady?
Yeah?
That's right. And really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it?
Actually, I probably should in it.
The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. So of course the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
Objection!
No. You killed the victim that day, using curare. And then, in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime, you waited until he picked up the pistol you'd arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Where is this hidden gun, though? We haven't seen that yet. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn from the dead professor in his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit this crime. Ooh, nice, the close-up.
Ha ha ha. What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence.
Exactly. And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? We've had her, but now... Is she really gonna get away with it? The way she destroyed the evidence was obscene. Ryunosuke. Yeah? We've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it. What? What do you mean? We've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there's any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head. Wait, did the bottle go, like, disappear from my evidence? Oh, no, it's still there. In my head? You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend upon. Well, yes, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head. So think it back again now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell. Smell. Super smelly-o, bros. What I saw, what I felt. Every color. The steak. There's blood on the steak. Oh, shit.
Is Kazuma right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head. Could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer? Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. Huh. You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then, let's wipe that smug face off the Englishwoman. Face with evidence. Alright, I can't wait. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories of that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all this. Well, obviously, wow, gee, I wonder what the clue is. So wait, if there's blood there, then that means he wasn't that means he was facing her eventually. At one point.
Take that!
Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. Yeah, yes. What is it? He's still miles away. Probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you've said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigation, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day.
Objection!
Wait a minute, where are you going with...
Where are you going with this, little boy?
It's just a memory that's been troubling me.
What memory?
Was Sephiroth there? I saw the scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a spattering of blood.
What? Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor.
No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph. Look at this graph. And the relative position of everything here. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way the blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him.
And we also know for sure because the bullet did not go through the body either.
Ah! Yes. For blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies the plate was between the victim and the shooter. Which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor, as you were. Giselle, Brett.
I beg your pardon?
Objection!
This is beyond ridiculous. Fabricated nonsense. Is the court seriously expected to believe the accused has apparently just remembered seeing?
Hold it!
Ooh, he said hold it.
This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to.
Inspector, you mean...
Yes, I took the plate, in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it.
You did what?
I took the steak that you've been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. And I did it all in the name of justice.
Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it now.
Inspector, the court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately.
Yes, sir. Sorry for the delay. Here's what you ordered. The steak.
Well, What about the blood? Is there blood on it?
Of course there isn't.
Quickly, Inspector. The blood, man. Show the court. The blood, man.
Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure.
There's no blood.
No blood.
No blood anywhere.
But no, that's impossible.
What if the blood got wiped?
I know I saw it. I'm sure of it. I saw it right there on the table behind the professor. There was blood on the side of the plate. What an unbecoming expression, little boy. You see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you. I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire,
I believe we may have finally reached a conclusion in this trial.
let's hope so. This let's pretend attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over. Ha! This sorry-looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly.
What if that's not the steak? Because didn't he say there were 2 steaks? What if he had the steak from the sergeant?
If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guest.
I don't know. The meal Miss Brett ordered for lunch. It was removed from the victim's table after the incident.
Was the plate I saw, or thought I saw, just a figment of my imagination? This is it now. I've lost.
Ryunosuke, it's not over yet.
Not until the final gavel. Huh?
Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what.
Believe in myself? Really?
Damn, I love how expressive Ryunosuke. He's probably like the most expressive like main character ever, dude. Probably next to Athena anyway.
Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself.
As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further... fuck, I need to yawn again. I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection?
That bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all?
There's another clue.
What if it's on the bottom? Your Excellency, please wait. This plate of beef is hiding another clue. Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth.
Objection!
The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak. Or for steak. Yeah, Excellency. I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I'll not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial.
I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I'll not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
I see. As a newly affirmed ally of our country, that's still your position, is it? Thank you, Your Excellency.
Counsel for the defense. You'll now clearly show the court what you're alluding. Where precisely on this plate of beefsteak is this new clue to be found? Alright, I'm going to... Okay, so there's nothing on the bottom. Actually, yeah, where can I look? I mean, there's the stamp. There's the steak itself. We could try the... We could try this, the indent, right?
This emblem on this side of the plate. Is it a cat?
It's a cow, obviously. Most likely because the restaurant's signature dish is beef steak. Or steak. Seems a lot of different restaurants have their own unique tableware. So this is the symbol of La Carnival, is it? Okay, and then what about the steak itself? Oh, wait a minute. Huh? What in the world is this? I think it's a Koban coin. And the hallmark is from the Hoei era, I believe. There's a fucking coin under there? No, I don't mean what is it. I mean, what's it doing there? Wait, did you say it was a Hoei Koban? Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable. Dude, the fucking, like, old guy, he was missing his coin and he never found it. It was under the steak the whole time? This isn't the first time today there's been a talk of a Hoei Koban. I've heard pearls before swine, but I've never heard of bullion and bullion? What the fuck do these words mean? Alright, we got new words to look for. Bullion? Definition? Gold or silver in bulk before coining or valued by weight. And... Builin? Pronunciation.
Booyah.
Wait, can we say that again?
Booyah.
Booyah? Is that actually how you say it? I mean, I guess it would be French, right? Booyah. Alright. And what is that? Is that, what is that? Yeah, what is booyah? It's broth. A clear, usually seasoned broth made by straining water in beef. Huh. Man, that's... I've learned... What is this now, like 5 or 6 new words I've learned? And I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary, though. This means... Then we gotta present that.
Got it!
Got it! Good gracious, that's...
A Koban?
What on earth? Oh, Aero wanted that. Miss Brett, this is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant in day in question, is it? Wait, no, maybe it's not, because didn't the old guy say that, like his coin went missing and he thinks the sergeant hid it? Right? Tell me. Why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat?
What a ridiculous question. How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what this is, but I want no part of it.
Objection!
I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat? That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef in a moment of distraction.
Objection!
Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe this happened by accident in the kitchen? A rare Hoei Koban just happened to be hidden underneath that piece of steak? If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now. He's right. It can't be a coin... I guess you could say a coincidence. Your Excellency... Yes, Counsel? A rare Hoei Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak? If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give it my lawyer job right now.
Objection!
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway. Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant.
Even though I'm the one on trial here? The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under the steak. The owner? Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of the kaban that was found underneath the beefsteak is, well, obviously the old guy.
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be the antiques dealer, the owner of Rasute, Kirio Korikuda-san.
Kiri? As in Mr. Cucumber something? Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable.
Ah, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct? Yes, Your Excellency. I remember him saying that he was up to something with his kaban coin when it happened. At exactly the moment the gun was fired.
The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure. Indeed, the Hoi-era Koban, my prized coin.
Then this Hoi-era kaban, do you mean to tell me?
Objection!
No, please, why would Korikuda-san's Koban be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and his plate? It makes no sense.
Yes!
Which is why I'm asking to bring Korikuda-san back to the witness stand so we can ask him. Officer, bring both witnesses to testified earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay. I can't believe we've come back around to that pair again. I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find that as a key element in this case. Damn, now we got 4 witnesses. What's this all about? Why have I been called up again, butthead? Don't you realize that it's dinner time for my little baby, Ido? When my son's belly's empty, he is fiercer than a pack of wolves.
Exploited by the police we were, like miserable dogs forced to bear false witness. And when cast from this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in a trice, a worthless, withered antique. Nothing more have I to say. The sun has set on this Rasute shop owner's existence.
Be that as it may, Korikuda-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute memory serves, have you ever seen this?
Yes, that's it. The one, the very one. The very exact one that it is. The resplendent, splendiferous Hawaii treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day. It can't be.
As I thought.
Young man, enlighten this decrepit old fool. Put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped?
Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere. We found your coin sandwiched between a steak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat's juices.
Sandwiched? Soaking? Seriously?
Clearly, you don't own an air fryer. It couldn't have fallen there by accident. Which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose.
Somebody concealed my Hawaii treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate? Who would do such a thing? Such an unconscionable thing?
... Excuse me. Could I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga. I do like that there can be, like, 4 people on stand at once, because it just means that, like, you know, you get a bit more diversity, you know? You can have, like, 4 different people talking.
I mentioned this early on in the trial, but I was working on the cover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case.
Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation.
La Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau.
Wicked crimes indeed.
Let me take a drink again.
I'm definitely liking this music a lot more the more I listen to it.
We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected.
So that's why you're sent in undercover, is it?
Yes, I took on the job of the waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that this Koban incident is the work of the same thief.
Huh. So unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis.
Dude, it must have been Wario. Wario wanted that coin.
That place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid the Korikuta-san's Koban is all too clear.
What? What?
I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Tell us, who is the despicable scoundrel that stole Korikuta-san's Koban and hid it under the stake?
Alright, so I'm gonna go with my theory that it was the sergeant. Because I think he said something about the sergeant, like, hiding the stake.
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant Iyase Nosa.
What? How? How dare you? You monster!
Monster?
I stole that Koban, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, am I? Butthead, you're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet? But it wasn't me, it was Ido. Ido is the mastermind behind all this.
You're really gonna blame your, like, newborn child? You would push the blame for your crimes on your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa.
Oh damn, it's breakdown time.
Oh!
Clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop. Go!
There's the baby.
Nippon Imperial Army, Sergeant Iyase Nosa, preparing to stand down in Supreme Court, sir.
Yeah, put the baby away.
Do any of you know of the extraordinary low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe?
I understand that a temporary increase in taxation, owing to the recently ended conflicts, remains in place. And I've heard it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes?
All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son.
That's why you're stealing things at the restaurant?
The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days, I'd go there and do reconnaissance for a target, butthead. And I'd enjoy chopping my way through a good steak at the same time.
Sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork, even. Which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was the old man Niskoban?
Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all.
A veritable phantom thief you are.
Damn. New member of the Phantom Thieves confirmed. I was all set to leave the stake. I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Bang, Beavis.
Yes, when the professor was shot.
I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. I'd owe too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could, on the double. I slipped it under the stake, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with again at a later date.
Lots of dots again.
This is ridiculous.
Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time.
Well, Miss Brett,
Oh, of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all.
he just banged his head on the fucking table.
May the esteemed gentleman please be excused, your excellency?
Indeed. The theft of the Koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder.
Of course it is. Hiding a coin under the lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me.
But then that means... Dude, that means that... it's not her stake. It's the sergeant's stake. Nonsense, is it? Well... oof.
And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness' testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone.
Nope, you're not leaving yet.
And good day.
Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming.
Oh no, it's just... something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said just jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. Something didn't quite add up.
If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard. Sorry? You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Wait, Miss Brett.
What is it now?
I'm afraid, just one last time, there's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago.
What are you talking about? What contradiction?
Objection!
What student nonsense is this?
Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke?
Hiding a coin in a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a fork, knife, and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction. Oh, I get it. Maybe. I'm gonna need to see the evidence, Counsel. If Miss Brett's truly are contradictory, where is the evidence to prove it? Wait a minute.
Take that!
It's this. It's the stake. The photographic print of the scene taken immediately after the incident occurred? What's interesting is the plate of steak you can see on the victim's table. The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed, yes. Go on. More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Now you're just spilling hairs.
Spitting hairs. Not true. Doesn't something about this steak strike you as very unnatural?
Unnatural? What on earth do you mean?
It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett.
Noticed what exactly, Counsel?
Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could even contemplate picking up a steak and butting into it without it using a knife and fork. I mean, I don't fucking want to eat steak without a knife and a fork. I wouldn't want to soil my hands with that crap.
Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself.
Then take a good look at this steak, in particular the edge where it's been eaten. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there.
Ah.
Oh,
Ah,
Looks like Miss Brett's realized something. So, if the witness as she claims wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a fork and knife, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
Objection!
But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry.
Oh, she's sweating.
Oh, whatever you say, dear lady.
as I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer.
Look, babe, I love tea as much as you do, but come on, we gotta finish this.
Of course, of course. This'll all be over in the blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place.
I've heard enough, you irritating little spectacled samurai relic.
Oh, of course, dear lady.
What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness does not own an air fryer. She's realized this catastrophic implications these teeth marks in the steak have her. Well, yeah, I'm guessing if she, like, did it with a fork and knife, right? Like, she'd cut off, like, a little piece of steak and then eat it, right? So there wouldn't be, like, the steak would be, like, there'd be a fine line. It would be straight. It would be straighter than an arrow. Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this? Yes. Now at last, it's all come together.
oh yeah, it's all coming together.
The mysterious teeth marks in a steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the bloodstain I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. Ooh, good banger music.
I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us?
Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything?
Yes, I believe these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in the case. Fucking teeth marks. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson.
Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of that phrase. Typical Japanese empty threats.
How can you be so sure?
Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago.
Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet.
Hasn't been? What?
But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
Objection!
This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already, and you say there's evidence that yet to be brought forward? It can't be. I don't believe you have it.
Objection!
I don't.
Oh wait, he's not British. I don't. But there's someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom.
He's Japanese, not British. I think so I was looking on the wiki, and I think what happened here is I think they got, like, they got some Asian guy who speaks English to voice him. But, like, a guy who, like, lives in, like, America, I think. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's what's happening here. And I think they probably got a British woman to voice her. So, yeah. And if that person's willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it'll solve every remaining mystery about this case. Oh yeah, the point.
Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about this whole affair?
Oh, well, obviously Detective does have it. He has it. The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga.
What? I have it?
Yes.
You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous.
No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on this stake with the teeth marks.
Yes.
Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak. And as well as admitting to stealing Korikuda-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak.
You watch it, cadet. I'm a superior officer.
Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak?
Attention! Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it.
In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
Objection!
That's what I was saying.
But that makes no sense. The plate was taken from the victim's table.
Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor does she have any opportunity to steal the coin.
Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire.
Well then, how to explain this paradox?
Paradox boy.
Exactly. Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two steaks over?
Can that happen though? Maybe.
You did switch the plates?
Oh man.
Well, after it happened, the,
Bang.
when I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my steak and hid the coin underneath it. But then when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I'd had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that would be it. I'd be getting my marching orders.
Oh, I see.
So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. With military precision and timing, I switched my steak with the one on the foreign lady's table.
Also, I just noticed his mustache kind of looks like Wario's mustache.
What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing.
It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done, butthead.
Unbelievable.
However, fear not, Prosecutor-san.
What now?
I swear on the brass buttons of my uniform, that is all I did, sir.
All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes!
So, if Sergeant knows to switch the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table.
Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosonaga.
Yes?
Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's stake after the incident, but also the sergeant. That to preserve evidence, you had taken both. Ah! Oh, she's freaking out.
That's correct. Can we see the other stake?
Then please present it to the court now. The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot. Ooh, nice.
What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat? It can't have the slightest bearing on the case.
Objection!
No, you're not reeling your way out of this time, lady.
I beg your pardon?
Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why this steak pan promised to prove such a problem for you, not?
You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me.
The reason the defense asked to see the plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing.
Thinks he remembers.
I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett.
I mean, he is observational. Why wouldn't he?
On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear spattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett.
Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Present the stake that the plate was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident.
Yes, sir. Sorry for keeping you.
There it is!
Here's the other steak in his plate. Please feel free to examine it.
Dude, there's blood and it's cut properly. The blood stain is clearly visible, look.
Yes!
Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on this side of the plate shows that at the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim.
It can't be.
In fact, there's only one person who could have possibly shot Dr. Wilson from front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right. Miss Giselle Brett.
Yes, the camera shot.
It's you!
Oh my god, I love that modern Ace Attorney does this, where like they like switch the camera around with the point. It's awesome.
Outdone by a Japanese? Me? By a Japanese schoolboy? No, no, no.
The swan. The swan. What the fuck? Birdies. So many birdies.
Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me.
Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth this time.
Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life, using curare. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning.
So you plan to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison will be found in his water. Because curare is unheard of here in Japan.
Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only need to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water, and it'll be all over. I placed the steak I'd ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he'd been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table.
That'll be me, I suppose.
Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I'd lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment.
A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man?
I happen to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of curare in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt.
Under your skirt?
I thought it was under her hat.
So I was right. There were 2 guns.
Yes,
And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. A place where you were sure that I would notice it.
and everything went according to the plan. You used the gun as I'd intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up, bang.
That's when you shot the professor with your own gun? Even though at that point he was already dead?
Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared.
Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside.
That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor in his chair around.
Because, of course, you need to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he picked up the gun.
Damn, that is very elaborate.
So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor.
Dot dot dot.
Your Excellency,
Yes.
I wonder... might I speak with you in private later?
I shall call on you.
Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san.
And there she goes. That's just the way she goes.
It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement?
This can't be. Takatsuchi Aoshi does not lose. Not the likes of this rookie student.
You'd better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Well, yeah?
This insult to the Aoshi family name will never be forgotten.
You become conceited with age, Council, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that.
Ooh, damn. Badass sword play.
His hair!
His fucking hair.
1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Aoshi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case.
I thank you, Your Excellency.
The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits, but what will it look like, I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asogi. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can, absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. I understand, Your Excellency.
What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden?
Never mind. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Oh, yes?
In you, I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Damn. What a great first case.
It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo,
Not guilty! Woo! Yay, the confetti, except it's cherry blossoms. Even prettier. It's like the cherry blossoms in Origami King that we used the whole game.
This court is now adjourned.
Beautiful ending to the first case. Very beautiful. Oh man, everybody's gonna be so happy for me now. I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it. I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial.
Ryunosuke, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma.
Haha. No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place at Yume University Street. Don't forget.
Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off.
Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence.
Ah, our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know.
Oh no, I didn't do anything.
Thank you so much. If we hadn't had that research report of Miss Brett, I wouldn't have known how things have turned out.
Your kind words should really be from my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate.
Your father? Ah, yes, of course.
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense.
Speaking of Mikotoba... Ah, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Naruhodo, you did an excellent job.
Thank you, Professor.
Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you. After all, your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend.
Good friend? Oh yeah, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably that's when you met Dr. Wilson? Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital.
Oh, you work together?
I've never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now anyway. Besides, it's your turn, Asogi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan.
You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you?
Of course I am. The Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go. And cuts down anything that's in my way.
It's like fucking, Ghost of Tsushima, man. Yeah, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes.
That reminds me, what's happened to the woman? Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder. Oh yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but...
What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial now herself now. She's the true culprit after all.
She'll not be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai.
Shanghai Alice? What? Shanghai?
Giselle Brett will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that.
What? But why not?
Is she going to trial in Britain? It's a matter of consular jurisdiction.
Inspector Hosonaga.
It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. Then why are the violin team come out?
But what's all this about consular jurisdiction?
We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan.
What? We can't try her? And then who? Who's gonna bring her to justice?
Well, Britain, obviously.
A British consular court will hear her case. Somewhere far away, where our voices can't be heard.
But why a consular court?
Actually, what is consular, anyway? Consular jurisdiction. I need to get used to saying that. Here, let me look this up. Consular pronunciation. Consular? What does consular mean? Of relating or of the nature of a consul, or no, consul or consul's office or duties. I don't think that's quite what I'm looking for. What does consular mean in law? One of the courts presided over by a minister or consul established by treaty in certain foreign countries. And assigned criminal and civil jurisdiction over actions
involving nationals of the country having extraterritorial rights. Man, it wouldn't be the first Ace Attorney game to have frickin' extraterritorial rights. Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we've signed the Friendship Treaty. Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right. Then, so as long as it's not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court just like that. Oh, can't they? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our governments making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan? I'm afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student while committing murder very seriously. But it's all going to change from now on. We can make a change. This is a time of great turmoil. This new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. But Professor... You're right. There's no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, might I suggest La Carnival? As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you? Let's not worry about details for now. To La Carnival. Will you accompany us, Professor? Of course. La Carnival's food is second to none.
I shall go and attend to their paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release.
Oh yes, thank you. So Giselle Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma? Yes, Ryunosuke? I just wanted to say thanks again, that's all. You really saved my skin today. Haha, I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer here, weren't you? That defense was all your own work. Your skills made a difference, though. One day I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. What? Come on, you can be serious. If I help you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it. For being a defense lawyer, I mean. Oh, no, not me. All that tense verbal combat? I never want to go through that ever again. I did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean, that's the point? Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win? Evidence? Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. Oh, that's also very accurate. To believe? To believe what? Like Parappa the Rapper? A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. Oh, of course. Of course. Believe in them to the end. Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it. I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice about what to believe in and stick with it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you chose to believe in even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Huh. Believing in your own client? Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience. But you never stopped believing in me. Well, You faced seemingly hopeless situations time and time again. But you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it. Through your own efforts. And because you never stopped believing in me. Thanks, Kazuma. There's something I want to ask you, actually, Karinosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. I like that they're using the British spelling. Like defense with a C or favor with a U. I can get behind that, because, you know, we use British spelling over here. It sounds serious. What is... you're still here, are you? Oh, Inspector Hosonaga. I'm kinda relieved that this guy wasn't actually the bad guy. He kinda seemed like the bad guy at first, and then, you know, he turned out to just be kind of, an undercover investigator, you know? I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go. Thank you. We'll be right there. Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory. And your study tour of Great Britain, don't forget. Ah, yes, that too. So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma, Professor Mikotoba, Susato-san, who acted as my assistant, Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still, he looked shocked. It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. But more importantly, there's some weird glitches, those weird graphical effects. I don't know what's happening there. Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize. I mean, actually, are those graphical glitches? I can't tell, actually. I hope that's not too distracting. Yeah, what is that? Why was, like, the window flickering? Just how much it would change my life. The end. Wow, what a great first trial, man. Holy shit. Defense debut. Yes, I would like to save my game. Alright, guess we'll save in slot number 3 then, huh? Thank God you can have multiple save slots in this game. Alright, well, I guess that'll be it then for the Great Ace Attorney tonight. We completed the very first case. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. So next is episode 2, The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. Investigation Part 1. Ooh, we're gonna do some investigating next, I guess, huh? Alright, well, that'll be it for me here tonight. If I have time, and if I feel like it still, I'll do some SMBX tonight. Nice little relaxing game of SMBX, don't mind me. And, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any Great Ace Attorney tomorrow, or during most of the weekend, for that matter, because I'm usually pretty busy over the weekend. Saturday is a maybe. I might try and play with, Aaron this week. Oh yeah, wasn't I supposed to play with him on Wednesday?
I completely forgot about that, actually. And I didn't even end up playing with him on Wednesday. Wow, I kind of forgot about that, to be honest, because I got too into playing this game. Wait, it's not too late still. I can still play Star Wars with him tonight. Maybe I'll do that instead of SMBX. I'm gonna ask him, actually. So, yeah, anyways, guys, make sure to like and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch, as always. I had fun. I might make some dinner or something. And maybe later tonight we'll play some Star Wars, because I almost forgot about that. So yeah. I don't know when's the next time we're gonna do Great Ace Attorney. But Friday is definitely a no-no. Saturday is a maybe. Saturday, like, if I'm not playing with anybody Saturday night, then maybe. Sunday is also maybe. And then I guess Monday will be the next time that we do it. Alright, guys. I'm gonna go. So, see you in the next episode. Bye.